What's up, y'all? This one's pretty loud. I can dig it though. Alright, we're going to listen to one more, this one, and then we'll get started with the session very soon. All right. Well, that was a couple beats on the Ableton Move. What's up, y'all? Welcome. Nice. Yeah, those are some chill ones. This one, I probably need to add some bass on it. I've got the sample chops and the drums, but there's not really much else going on, so maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. That's kind of how I do things with these groove boxes. I usually just kind of make a little loop that I like and then move on to the next thing. And that's what all these lit up pads are. These are all just different kind of projects I've been working on since I got it. I'm almost full. I'm going to have to start cleaning house. Maybe exporting some of these beats, doing a beat tape. I know y'all like that. We'll see about that though. But yeah, so tonight's session, let me tell you what's going on. We got some cool stuff happening here. So I am going to be using the Ableton Move in conjunction with, let me get this pulled up here. Boom. The DAW. Reason specifically. Controlling some VSTs with the Ableton Move, and then also doing the rhythm section on the Move. So it's kind of like a hybrid workflow of like using the Move to do like drums and stuff, and then like kind of using the VSTs to add some melodics to the beats. But I am going to be showing a feature that's available on the hacked Ableton Move firmware. So if you're not familiar, there's this hack, which is called the Shveng. And basically it allows you to do all these different features like additional synth modules and like different sounds and effects, and there's like a ton of stuff basically. In fact, the display that you're seeing where it says 2026 320, that's part of the hack, is it's got this remote display thing. Anyways, getting too in the weeds here. One of the cool features about the hacked firmware though is that you can do quantized recordings. So basically you can record a sample synced to the pattern that you're working on, which is very useful if you're recording takes from like, you know, external VSTs and instruments and stuff like that. It also has some usefulness as well if you're just using like the internal Ableton Move, like synths and stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff we're going to be going over here. Basically, I'll show you that workflow of how to use the quantized sampler in some of the use cases, including slicing recordings that you do. So pretty chill stuff. So yeah, all that said, let's go ahead and get into it here. And first things first, I gotta copy one of these templates. Dude, I gotta name these things because I literally do not know the difference. I've got 0 underscore, and then I've got 0 underscore copy 1. So yeah, let's do copy 1, I guess. That's probably the more recent one, my updated template. All right, what do we got in here? Blank pads. Okay, so we've got the drum kit. So this is probably where I'm going to put the rhythm samples. And then I've got 2 other drum kits here. And these will be good places to store some of the recordings of the melodic stuff once I get to that. And it's good to have 2 of them because you can do like mute outs on like certain elements. You could keep things by themselves for, you know, effect purposes if you want to do like send or insert effect or whatever. And then the bottom one is the sampler instrument. And so this is the track that I'm basically going to be using as a kind of MIDI track that I'll be recording performances with. And then once I have the MIDI sequenced, then I will sample it and kind of record it. So it's sort of like a multi-track workflow basically. I play it here. Once it's sequenced, I record it and I put it onto one of these tracks. But before we do all that, I got to get the rhythm section going. So let's do that. And the question of tonight is, do we do slice drum break or do we do one shots? What are y'all feeling? I'm a little bit partial to the slice drum break. It's a little bit quicker. Not that we're trying to speed run this. Dude, Gather Thread, what's up, bro? Welcome. Showed up just in time. All right, let's do slice drum break. That's how we're living today. User samples, breaks. Dude, 70 to 74, that's a little low. I don't know if I know how to play to that. Let's do 80 to 84. Nice and spacious, roomy. Dude, I kind of dig this one. I feel like I could add a snare on top of it too. Could layer that in. It's a pretty short one too, so not too many possibilities, but I do like the kicks on it. Alright, cool. And so we do have our option here of adding some effects before starting to kind of work with it. So I could do like, maybe make it a little more lo-fi or add some other effects to kind of punch up the drums a bit. Let's take a look. We got some cool stuff on Ableton Move. So let's see. Dude, there's this 8-bit thingy, which is pretty cool. You set like a kilohertz range and it'll kind of lo-fi it. And when I say kind of lo-fi it, I mean like really. It's like, why use the lo-fi 12 when you could just do 12.1 kilohertz on Yield Ableton Move? Alright, so that sounds kind of saucy. Let's do next one. They have this other cool thing called the peak filter. And so what the peak filter does is it allows you to select like a frequency range to increase or decrease the that band essentially. So we could pump up the low end. Get like a nice 85.7 kilohertz boost there. Sounds pretty nice. And then we got all these other ones too. Maybe I'll do this one. Dynamics. We could do like a compressor on it. It's a little subtle, but I think I hear it. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to resample it now, so it has the effects kind of baked in there. Oh, you know what? I could use the quantized sampler too. That'd be pretty sick. Dude, what tempo is this? Bro, it's 81, and I know because of the file name, so that's what's up. Shout out to being organized. Okay, 81 on the BPMs. And then, like I said, it's pretty short. I think it's only 2 bars. So we'll do the old 2-bar Orillo here. Let's see if it plays and loops correctly. Hey, it does. That's what's up. Dude, my bucket list. What's going on, bro? What time we going off? A bit late? Oh, dude, it's 5 p.m. It is a little bit late, but it's not too late. The night is young, as they say. But yeah, I'm glad you're tuning in, bro. Nice to see you. Okay, let's do this. quantized sampler, so you're going to get an early sneak peek at it. So basically with the hacked firmware, if you hold the shift button and you press this record, like the sampler button, we've got some options here. Dude, source, resample. You could do the external audio that's coming in to the input, or you could do resample, which is what we want to do. And then you can set the duration. As I mentioned, we're only 2 bars, so I'll do the 2 bar there. And then it says play or note to record. So I'm just going to press play. Cool. And so that recorded it. So now I just have to find the file, which is pretty easy to find. So it's on the user samples, not recordings. User recordings is where like the stock Ableton Move stuff goes, which is kind of a mess, to be honest with you. It just sort of like puts them all in this folder. Like, dude, I've got to have like 100 freaking samples in here. Just like random junk that I've recorded. Anyways, user samples. Then you go to shebang and then resampler. It has a folder for each date. I don't know how there's a folder for 4/1 though, because today's the 31st. Let's see what's in there, I guess. Let's take a trip to the future and see what tomorrow is going to bring. Is this the drum break? It is. It must be on Unix time or something. I don't know. Anyways, so we've got this. This is the resample drum break, so it's got all the effects and stuff on it. So now I just need to make sure I don't have that, what you call it. Alright, so yeah, we don't have the compressor on it because we already sampled it with that on. So yeah, now what I need to do is I need to slice it. So we can go, you have to highlight the file name, and then you hold shift and press the jog wheel down. And then you got the slice option. There's a couple ways to slice on this, like you could copy and paste the pad and like move the start point. But the slice function is like pretty quick, so we'll just do that. And because it was a quantized recording, it's exactly 2 bars. So I know that these slices will probably line up if the drum break is kind of like in time or whatever. If I do 8, I think. All right, so yeah, 8 sounds good. So I'm going to just press back and it does it for you. Yo, dude, happy birthday. My bucket list. Congratulations. And I hope it's not an April Fool's joke that you're pulling on me here. But dude, that's what's up. Dude, it's 2 a.m. You must be in the European Union, perhaps, or maybe even further than that. But dude, that's what's up. Shout out to you. Hope you're having a great birthday. Thank you for joining me on your birthday. Appreciate it. So yeah, maybe something simple like that. Let's do da-da-do. We'll go back to 1 bar, I guess, just to do something simple, and then I can kind of switch it up. Yes, record. Oh, let me do the metronome too, just so I don't screw this up. Maybe we increase the tempo a little bit. Forgot to have full velocity on. I gotta do that. Dude, that's what's up. Nice. Alright, so let's see if we can get a snare one shot to kind of put in there to give it a little more energy. And I'll put that right here, I guess. Maybe here. Okay. Oh yeah, user samples, drums. Let's check folder 86. That's like pretty close to the tempo. It's close. I feel like this one fits well enough. Be nice if I had some reverb on this, because I feel like the drums are very like reverby. So yeah, let's try that. To put reverb on, we can use it as a send effect. just a little light reverb to kind of have it play nicely with the drum break. One other thing I could do. Whoops. Oh man, I screwed that up. We could try using the peak filter to kind of shape the sound a little bit. I'm a big fan of the peak filter. It has many uses. Alright, so that's sounding pretty chill. I think we are ready to move on to the melodics. So yeah, slice drum break. It's very efficient. Dude, Samurai Chill Beats, what's up, bro? Welcome. Yeah, we're getting down with the snare. Alright. So now, let's talk about how I have things set up here. Turn the volume down. So yeah, basically, the way that I've been using this kind of like quantized resampler workflow is I have the one track which has the rhythm section on it, so it's got the drums and stuff, and then I have these two tracks here that are both like they're like drum rack tracks is what they're called in Ableton, Ableton Move, but specifically what they are is just like places where I can store samples. So each of these pads can be like a recording of whatever, like the melody that I do and what have you, and then I could have them trigger from one of these 16 pads. So there's basically like 16 slots on this page, and then same thing here, there's like 16. So it's a ton of room to like record in, yeah, melodic takes basically, and just launch them as like stems almost. And so that's what these two tracks are. This is track 2 and track 3. And then on track 4, this is kind of like my MIDI track. So this is what I use to like actually play stuff in. And then once I have the sequence recorded, then I resample it. And when I resample it, I can put it into one of these places or whatever. So first things first, we need to test the MIDI track, make sure it's working. So let me do hold shift, press this button here. So we're going out on MIDI channel 10, which is a good sign. And then I have DAW configured in such a way where it'll accept MIDI from any channel. So it doesn't really matter if it's on 10 or not, it should be able to hear it either way. And to give you a demonstration, I gotta turn back up. So this is the DAW. This is Analog Lab by Arturia. So it's just a VST. And you're listening to the analog, or the classic Juno keys. So yeah, the plan is to just try to find a melodic instrument that I like and then play some stuff in. But before we do that, I can also do the root note and scale, which is a cool feature that the Move has, which you can see the Move screen right above the video there. So right now we're in E minor. Let's switch it up though. I really don't give it F, so maybe I'll set it to F. And then for this one, dude, I don't know a lot of these scales, but I'm sure they sound cool. Do a little Hirajoshi. Sounds pretty dope, actually. It's like kind of a Far East kind of vibe. Dude, let's get down on it. I'm willing to try it out. I'll try anything once. Okay, so we've got our root note and scale set. Pretty chill. So now let's do some melodic stuff. So I basically just want to find an instrument that I like and then record something in. So let's do that. Could check out the E pianos. I have it on a full velocity. So I want to have the expressiveness, so I'm going to turn that off. Pretty quiet. Really got to hammer the pads to make it sound good. Maybe I'll turn the drum break down temporarily. Something I like to do with the Rhodes samples or the Rhodes instruments is just layer another one on, and that's what Analog Lab lets you do. You can do like 2 instruments at once. Do more effects too, so let's do like a maybe like a delay to get it sound really like spaced out. Okay, that was just the first preset on that delay. Oh, I gotta change the tempo too. We are at 86, I think. Yep. Gotta play the right chords. Alright, I think this is sounding sufficiently chill. There are further parameters we could tweak, but I'm not gonna do that. Let me check on the chat though here. Dude, Samurai Chill Beat says, "Hey Jay, quick question. Why is the pitch on the Lo-Fi 12XT so weird? Can you explain a little to me? I try to pitch down samples and pitch it down to 300 to really get a difference." That's a good question, Samurai Chill Beats. So I think what you're talking about is, so basically on the Lo-Fi 12XT, there's like, there's 2 modes to change the pitch. One of them is just what it starts on by default, and that one will tune it by cents. So it's like 1/100th of a semitone, basically. But if you do you have to hold function, and then I think you press the B knob down, and that'll turn it to semitone mode. So instead of it like having to do with cents, it'll be by semitone. And then with that, you can just turn it down to like 3, and that'll be like 300, like you're saying. It'll be 3 semitones down. Because yeah, before you do the before you turn it, you want to have shift or function and then press the B knob down, and then from there it'll be in semitone mode. It'll make more sense there in terms of like bringing the pitch down and stuff. So yeah, I think that explains it, but let me know if you still have questions and I can break out the old and show you how it's done. All right. Okay, I think we're ready to go here. So here's the plan. So I've got this cool E-piano, and I'm just gonna record like a bunch of takes, or not a bunch of takes. I'm basically just gonna record 16 bars, like a really long recording of me just playing like random chords and notes. Some of them are probably gonna sound bunk, but I think some of them will sound chill, and we can use the quantized sampler to find the good ones. So loop mode, 16 bars, maximum length activated. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna play that. That sounded like crap. Seems like when you push the ones next to them, they sound kind of bad. Anyways, okay, so we're at good volume here. So yeah, I'm gonna press the record button and we're gonna get down. We were off to a rocky start there. Alright, that's a good one. That one sounded tight too. Interesting voicing. So yeah, some of these are bunk, but I think some are good. So I'm quite confident to move on to the next step here, which is, oh yeah, we're done with DAW for now. So let's get back to the big screen here. So if you do shift and then record, boom. And this is only on the hacked firmware. So if you have an Ableton Move and you do that, it doesn't work, you're gonna have to download the hack, which is called Shebang. Okay, so duration. We gotta set this to 16 bars because that's how long the MIDI sequence is. I also have to change the source. So right now it's set to resample, which is just the internal audio from the Ableton Move. But we want to hear the external audio. This is coming from the DAW, so it's going through USB-C. The power of USB-C is being harnessed here. So I'm going to change it. Move input. I don't really know what pre-roll means, so we're going to keep it off for now, I guess. And then yeah, basically when I press play, it's just going to record the whole thing. Synced to the pattern. And exactly 16 bars. That's what's up. You can see like the VU meter going there. Dude, what's up, B-Jammin'? What's cracking, bro? Oh, dude, you got the MPC sample. That's what's up. But yeah, I'm chilling. Doing well. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. How are you liking the MPC sample? Is it pretty chill? Dude, that was a nice one. Interesting. Kind of messed up there. Ooh, the last one's good too. Okay, so we recorded all that, tempo synced, and it's exactly 16 bars, which is a beautiful thing. Now, the next step is I need to load it to one of these samples. So it's always going to get saved in the directory user samples, not user recordings. And we already know this because we did it earlier. Resampler. It's saying 4.1 for some reason, but it is 4.1 in some parts of the planet Earth. So I'll allow it. And then, yeah, so right now there's only 2 files in here. This is the drum break from earlier. And then this, I think I can audition it. It's pretty quiet, but that's it. Yep. Okay, full velocity. Oh yeah, the other thing I need to do is select a different clip for the bottom track. So it's going to be playing the DAW notes that I recorded or whatever. But even if I mute it, it'll still play the notes in the DAW because it mutes the audio, but it doesn't mute the MIDI. So I have to select a different clip. Okay. So this is what I played. Can maybe turn it up a little bit. Some nice moody chords. Okay, and then here's where the fun happens. So now I can use the slicer that's built into the Ableton Move. So you hold Shift, push this knob down. It says slice. And we know it's 16 bars, so if I slice it into 16 parts, each pad is going to correspond to 1 bar, or basically 1 chord that I played, because I was playing them at the beginning of each bar. To adjust the start point on some of them though. Slice start. I know it's shift locked. Let me see it now. Okay. Dude, that one's tight. Bad. Yeah, some of the first ones are not great. Okay, cool. So yeah, now when I back out, it creates the slices, and then from here, I just have like all the bars at my fingertips, so I can play the chords basically as the sequence is playing. Oh yeah, so dude, this is like the coolest part, I think. So every single slice has 16 pitches on the right. So I can play the chord and then I can just like totally throw a different pitch in. I don't know, not all of them are going to work in key. I don't know, it sounds kind of wonky, but I think it's cool because you can kind of pepper in like sort of different pitches basically super easily by just tapping on the right there. Alright, so let me just set this thing. Oh, whoops. Let's do 4 bars. And yeah, I'll just kind of play some notes in. This one's pretty good. I just have to find a couple other good ones. basically just sequence the chords. We did kind of eat up a whole track with that though. That's the only problem with using the slicer, is you kind of like end up burning all 16 pads on the same sample. So for the next few layers that I add, I'm just going to use like this sampler, and I'll have things going in like a single track stems basically. So I won't do any more chopping, but that's just an example of how the chopping works. And it's easy to like find cool pitches and parts of your take or whatever by using the slicer. Super handy. Dang, dude. Be jamming? You didn't know about the slicer, dude? Yeah, man, this thing's legendary. So yeah, you hold the shift button, and then you have to have the sample name highlighted. But yeah, hold shift and then push the knob down. I'm not gonna do it because it might mess things up, but that's how it works. Yeah, that's tight that you like the MPC sample. Seems kind of fun. A lot of people are getting down on it, so that's what's up, dude. Dude, my bucket list? Can't make music because you're on Linux? Oh man. Oh, because there's not a lot of DAWs for Linux, is that what you mean? Dang. I respect you for going to Linux though. Dude, Windows is kind of a mess, and I've never done Apple before, so I'm kind of just stuck with Windows, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'll bite the bullet and join the Linux brothers, my brothers in arms. Okay. So yeah, we got the vibe here with the chords. Let's go back to the MIDI track and record in some bass. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? No, not Serato sample. I need analog lab. We're going to the lab. We're going back to the lab. Alright, let's check out the bass section here. Dude, it's gonna take me like 100 years to find a good bass, I bet. Yeah, we're off to a great start. Yep. Something like real chill, like kind of like a stand-up bass type vibe, or like a sub bass. It, but I think we can do better. Oh, you know what? Let me check the similar button. Maybe we'll find something else that works. Oh wow, we got a big list. What's going on here? Pray tell. I don't hear none of these. Am I not doing it? Maybe I gotta go full velocity. Negatory. Dude, what is this? Just broke? Dude, now I can't hear anything. Retell, what's going on? Is it not sending MIDI? No, the MIDI channel is set. It's not muted. Question mark. I can hear it when I click the button, but not when I press the move pads. Something is amiss here. Maybe I'll change the MIDI out to 3. Nope. Dude, this thing's really gonna crap out on me. In the middle of the session, I guess we're towards the beginning, actually, which is not a good sign. Okay, pretty good pivot though. All right, I'm gonna figure this out later, but I do want to stay in the zone. So we're gonna switch back. And now, instead of doing the DAW stuff, which I wanted to do, we're gonna do internal Ableton Move instruments, because it has a bunch of like synth engines and stuff in it. So I think we can get down on that, no problemo. So let's go ahead and load up some bass. Where are we at here? I was about to click the brass button. That could have been a problem. Okay. So yeah, let's hear how it sounds. I could never do that to you all. Some wub. Alright, so I think I got something interesting there. I'm gonna play it. Oh, dang it. Did I not pick it? It was called the Humonger bass. And yeah, I think I'll probably end up putting a low pass filter on it to get that kind of subbiness back in the mix. Okay. I guess we'll do 4 bars. I might only do 2 bars, but we'll see. Something like that. Did I mess that up? Hold on a sec. Alright, now I press the capture button. It's like magic. It was listening the whole time. Might just put a filter on it. Because why not? Sub bass activated. Alright, so we got a nice vibe there. Dude, Chill and Connect 1, what's up, bro? Welcome. Yeah, we're getting low down. Oh, dude, Chill and Connect 1, so you did pre-order the Akai MPC sample. Oh man, they got you on back order now? Yeah, I feel like people bought those things up. They were selling like hotcakes. But I feel like that's how it goes with some of these like newer samplers. People just kind of go crazy and buy like a ton of them. Like that's what happened with like the Teenage Engineering KO2 when it first came out. People were just like going nuts basically. Myself included, by the way. I ended up buying that like pretty soon after it launched. But the MPC sample, I haven't pulled the trigger on it. I'm watching. I know it can do cool stuff. I've seen a lot of people post about it, so kind of just waiting for when the time is right. Kind of like with Ableton Move. With this thing, like it's been out for a while, but I didn't buy it immediately. I was kind of just like watching from the sidelines, seeing if it had any cool stuff going on. And yeah, the hacked firmware stuff is actually pretty neat. So that's sort of the thing that's motivated me to purchase it, basically. Anyways, but yeah, let's go ahead and record in this bass line. So I've got the bass line kind of like MIDI sequenced or whatever, but I want to record it to a track that I can then just put in like the sampler. So it's not taking up all the space over here, and we can kind of have like unlimited, not really unlimited, but like more tracks basically. So let's do that. So with the internal sound engine, you have to do something a little bit different. So before I was just sampling the external audio and you could hear like the drums and everything else playing, but we're going to be using resampling to get the bass as a recording. So I have to mute the drums and I have to mute the E-piano or whatever that thing was. Okay, so now when I press play, you should only hear the bass. In fact, I probably shouldn't put the filter on it yet. I should record it unfiltered and then I'll put the filter on it when I save it to the sample pad. So let's undo that. Control Z. Okay, there we go. All right, next step. We do Shift Record. Wow, that was embarrassing. Okay, and then now I want to do 4 bars because that's how long the sequence is that I recorded. And then instead of move input, we do resample. And I got the other sounds muted, so they're not going to get recorded. So if I press play, it should be good to go. That's what's up. Oh, only 2 weeks, dude? That's not bad. Oh, wow. Dude, it's so quick when it's just 4 bars. When it's 16, kind of takes a while. Okay. Then I'll unmute. And I'm also going to select a different clip so it doesn't play the sounds from that, basically. And then now what I can do is we've got this extra drum rack track that has all these empty sample pads. So I'll just load up ye old resampler 4.1. And now I'm going to do, max velocity. So now this is the beauty of it. All I got to do is put a single note on the first step. Oh, I got to make it 4 bars too. So I just put 1 note on the first step. And now it's going to play in sync. There's nothing else I have to do. I don't have to like finagle with the recording and like, I don't know, get its time correctly. So yeah, easy as that. No problem. And yeah, like I said, I can add a filter on it now. So you kind of get that like sub bass. Dude, super easy. Rinse and repeat. You could do that with like any instrument. Let's try doing it with another one. Since my DAW is being naughty, we'll keep working on with the Ableton Move stuff. So what else do we want to try? Some pads, maybe? Let's try and make it work. Okay. 4 bars probably. Interesting, but I like it. Dude, checking up on the chat here. Cat Earthred says, Jay needs to sharpen his KO2 skills. Dude, sounds like a challenge to me. I'm into it. Yeah, I don't use the KO2 that much, but I do have it still. And I do like breaking it out every now and then. Yeah, the other week I think I did a pocket operator stream, so maybe I gotta do the next level up, which is KO2. Definitely something to think about. Yeah, I know Gat Earthred is he's wise in the ways of the KO2, I mean. Definitely showed me some tricks, like the compressor. I didn't even know how to do that. Really told me. Alright, I want this to sound even more spaced out. How do I do that? So, shimmer reverb or something? Regular reverb. Sounds kind of mysterious. All right, let's sample it. Okay, 4 bars should be fine. So I'm going to hit do it by pressing... Oh, I have to mute everything first. Okay, mute, mute, mute. Okay, should be good to go. So I'll press play. All right, and now I can unmute, select a different clip, and then go to the pink page here. I guess I'll just put it right here. Keep it at the top, easy to access. All right, so we go user samples, Shvung, resampler. All right, so this should be it. Just like magic, there it is. And again, just put one first note on the track, and then it'll play in time. Kind of have an abrupt ending there. Maybe what I'll do instead is I'll record 8 bars of it, and then I'll start it halfway in the sample so it kind of doesn't have that issue of just ending abruptly. Okay, so back to the clip. And we'll record it. Duration 8 bars, and then yeah, I can just start it halfway through. Dude, Garmagna says dip into your vocal sample bag. I'll have to take a look. I don't have too much in the vocal samples, but I'll see what's up. All right, so that was 8 bars. I can unmute everything now. Okay, so now there is kind of a little bit of work that I gotta do. So I have to start the sample halfway through by adjusting the start point, which I guess would be like hereabouts, I guess. Sounds even wonkier. Maybe I messed something up when I played it. Oh, dude, I have a good idea. All right, this is a tricky one. I'll show you a little trick though. So I'm going to copy this pad and paste it. And so I have the exact same pad beneath it, right? But this one, instead of having it be in one-shot mode, I'm going to have it in gate mode. And basically, I'm going to play it at the end of the bar where it kind of like cuts off abruptly to kind of give it some sustain and sort of have it fade out a little more naturally. Let's see if this works. Okay, I need to change the mode. Instead of trigger mode, it needs to be gate mode. So I can let it off. Max velocity. And then I probably need to do some release too. Okay, so now let's see if I can, I guess, punch something in there. Something like that. It's a little more natural. Still gets kind of loud at the end there. Okay with it though. Alright, cool. So we got some nice layers on here. Dude, Garmagna says your loop, chop, and one-shot work is tough. Dude, hell yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see if we can find some vocal samples. Break out ye old Dirty Wave M8. The legendary. Activate. Ghetto, but it works. There we go. Okay. So what kind of vocal samples do I have on deck? Garmagna, I think you're not going to be impressed. Well, let's take a look. Alright, and I have to change the input mode, because right now it's USB-C. I have to change it to line in. I don't know, maybe that's the vibe. I mean, this beat does have a sinister energy, but I don't know if villains laughing is really the vibe. Maybe I can make this work. Alright, so I'm going to record it to... I guess I'll do it on this track. Why not? Okay, bottom right.
Move on.
Move on. I don't even know where I got this from. Some kind of record, probably. Okay.
Move on.
Maybe I'll normalize it.
Move on. Move on. Move on.
And then I definitely want to do gate mode, so it's not playing it all the way, so I can let it off. It's kind of got that weird bass thing at the end anyways. Okay. And then I need to do gate.
Move on. Move on.
Probably need to adjust the start point as well.
Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on.
Sound tight with like delay and stuff, but I don't really have. I could try doing a delay insert effect. Let me try that. I don't know, it kind of works. That bass at the end actually sounds dope. Alright, and so I got another trick. So I'm going to copy the pad. And then this one, I'm going to start it just at that bass note because I kind of like that bass note. So let's get that one in the mix there. Okay. Dude, that sounds sick. I don't know if I really need the delay on the bass note as well, but let's find out. Did that on accident. Yo. So yeah, not sure if this had what you had in mind with vocal one shots, but I'm trying. Hell yeah. But yeah, so BJamin Since Birth says, is Move Everything software? Is this Move Everything software? Oh yeah. Sort of. Not quite. So yeah, just to break it down, there's a couple hacks for the Ableton Move, and this one is called Schwung, which is spelled with a W, so like Schwung. But it's pronounced with a V because it's German. So yeah, this one's called Schwung, but Move Anything is another one. And Move Anything was like kind of the... Actually, I don't even know, because there's Move Everything, and then there's Move Anything, and then there's Schwung. And I think there's another one too called like Rainbow, but there's no syllables for, I forget, what do you call it? Vowels. There's no vowels in it or something. I don't know, it's kind of hard to keep track of. This one's called Schwung though, just to answer your question. Schwung is what it do. Yeah, it's like the new Move Everything. Yep, that's, see, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's how we do. Yeah, RNBO, that's what I was thinking of. Yep, that's another one. Dude, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on the Move. So you got plenty of possibilities, and even stock Move is not bad. Like, it's got plenty on there to get down on. It's a sampler, so you can kind of do a bunch of stuff already. But the hacks make it a lot of fun, and they add quality of life stuff, like the quantized sampler. So pretty chill. Yeah, dude, it's not that hard too. Yeah, there's like some instructions and stuff. Here, let me dig it up. I can send you the link. So yeah, that's the link where you can check out the install instructions and stuff like that. It's not too bad. Yeah, there's like a application that you run to install it, and it connects over Wi-Fi, so you don't even have to have a USB cable for it. It's pretty easy. But yeah, so Diddy. Oh man, sorry, I might have mispronounced your name there. So you said, do you think Move Everything is worth it just for the M8? Yeah. I think it's worth checking out. Yeah, the M8 integration is like okay. I don't know. I don't really find the M8 integration to be that much, or the LPP emulator, whatever it's called. I don't find it to be that much of a game changer in terms of like workflow and performance stuff. Like there's some unique stuff you can do, like this beat repeat effect that's like not on the normal M8. You can only do that if you're using the LPP emulation or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely something interesting to do. But I wouldn't say it's like essential or anything. Like there's a bunch of other stuff to it as well. Like you can like sequence music using this is a controller that's like adding notes to the phrase in the M8. I don't know. When it comes to using the M8, I feel like just getting hands-on with it is probably the best approach. Controllers can help you kind of put stuff in, but at the end of the day, like you're working with like effects lanes and stuff like that, and tables and other things that are like unique to the M8, and the controller is not really going to help you do that. I think it's more for like live performance stuff really is the biggest sell on it. So yeah, I would say if you're not really that keen on beat repeat as an effect or doing like live performances with your M8, then yeah, you could probably pass on it. And I did a video about like how to use the integration and stuff, so you can always check that out and see if there's anything there that kind of speaks to you. But yeah, overall, I don't think it's really that big of a game changer. And honestly, since I recorded that video, I don't think I've used the, maybe I've used it like once or twice, the M8 Ableton Move integration thing. But yeah, I don't think it's too big of a game changer, in my humble opinion. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're, yeah, if you're interested. Yeah, BJM is talking about some other stuff from the hack. The SF2 player. Yeah, you can do like sound fonts and stuff. Yeah, there's actually a bunch of like synthesis engines and stuff. I have tons of them installed, but I don't really use them that much. So let's actually check them out. This beat turned out tight. Dope. All right, we're gonna save that, I guess, or it saves automatically, so I don't even have to worry about it. Okay, new project. Let's take a look at some of those hacked synthesis type stuff. So I'm gonna copy this template. I don't know. I keep losing track. I gotta figure out what these templates are and like name them correctly. I think this is the one that's like not the external MIDI type stuff. Okay. So yeah, so there's a bunch of like synthesis and other stuff, sound modules, I guess you could call them, that were added in this hacked firmware, which is called Shibang. So you do shift, volume knob, and then you touch the track. So I'll do this one. And so you can see here it says S4, which is slot 4. There's MIDI effects, but then there's the synth. There's like the insert or send effects. And then there's a slot configuration where it's like, what MIDI channel does it listen to and stuff like that. In fact, let me set that up. So this one is listening to channel 4. So we're going to make it so that I'll do a sampler instrument here. That's the best way to control it. We're going to make it so this sends MIDI out to channel 4. So far, so good. So shift, volume knob, track. And then yeah, from here, I have like all of them installed. Dude, there's like a ton. AirPlay, I don't remember what that is. I think it lets you like connect via like Bluetooth or something. I have no idea. Braids, this is like a synth engine. Chiptune is like, I don't know, probably like square waves and that sort of thing. Dext, I think this is supposed to be like what you call it, like the DX7, the Yamaha. Let's open it up, see what it does. It's like an arpeggiator or something. It's kind of quiet too. What's up with that? Whoa. My volume's up. Dang, I don't know. So yeah, maybe it's something wrong with my end, but let's keep shopping. So that's, oh, there's like different presets. That's a little louder. It's very loud. Oh, okay. I'm like not even scrolling it. Come on. Okay. So yeah. Ooh. I don't know, man. This thing's weird. I think there's like an arpeggiator on it or something. So let's switch it up. So you go all the way to the bottom, swap module. So that's Dext. I have 2 versions of Granny. Don't ask me how. And don't tell my granny either that I have 2 of them. I don't think she would be very happy. Hush One, Hera. Yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stuff on here. Mr. Drums, Mini JV. I don't know. Some of these you like load it and it's like you need to have a ROM installed, which I don't have. And this is one of those. Yeah, initializing, warning, ROM files not found. Okay. Well, I'm not interested in that. OBXD? What is this thing? Dude, let's go root note and scale mode so I'm not like playing terrible notes and stuff. C major, I'm into it. So yeah, what you're hearing, it's not part of the Ableton Move like stock firmware. This is like some sound generating program or whatever that was added, which is pretty dope. Oh, dude, I pressed the wrong shortcut. Shift, volume. There's a lot of shortcuts, let me tell you. And yeah, there's a bunch of presets in this one. Dude, this one sounds dope. Yo, am I not in root note and scale mode here? What happened? Oh, I gotta change the in key. Dude, I like this one. Sounds kind of dope. Okay, keep shopping around. So yeah, that's OBXD. Don't know what that's about. Switch it up though. Rex player. Yeah, I'm skipping through them. Osiris and plates. I think these are both other synthesis engines as well. Rex player is like a sample player, but it allows you to have like more slices than the stock Ableton Move does. Radio Garden lets you like sample stuff from different radio stations. I don't know what RAVOSynth is. So there's SF2 player and there's SFZ player. Apparently there's some difference there. I'm not sure. Stream RTS. Yeah, half of these things I'm like, I download them and I'm like, maybe I'll mess around with it sometime, and I never do. Surge XT. I feel like this one's pretty tight too. Dude, 600 presets? Bro. Preset city. Just scroll to a random one. Some of these are kind of wonky. Oh yeah, so I'm just looking at presets, but there's all these like, I don't know, parameters you can adjust and stuff. Dude, here's the thing though. I don't know if I have it in me to be diving through these menus to change these sounds. Like I'm more of like a preset surfer. When it comes to sound design, I'm like, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I have the patience basically. So yeah, like you're probably not going to see me like jumping into these and twiddling all these knobs for like, how many menus is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Dude, you'd have to like click into all 13 of these to make adjustments and stuff. No, thank you. Okay. But anyways, the point is there's like a lot of different sounds basically that you can access if you have the hacked firmware installed. So it's pretty dope. I would say check it out. If you're on the fence about it, maybe just check it out. There's cool features too. Like this whole, the reason why you can see the move display, like I made it go away, bring it back. The reason why you can see that is because of the hacked firmware. It has like a remote web display thing. Anyways, I've been yapping about it a lot. Do we have any questions here about it? Dude, Chocolate Boy Swagger says I'm going to get the MPC sample. Dude, we'll see. Who knows? I'll probably get it once people kind of start selling it and stuff. I'm always on the secondhand market looking for good stuff. So if I can find a good deal, I'm going to check it out. Dude, the Deluge handles sound font files super well. Dude, the Wii Shop? Bro, that's what's up. Yeah, the Move, it's a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, people have cracked it open. It's literally just like, you can see that Raspberry icon on the circuit board or whatever. So it's pretty cool. Not too bad. All right, so we just took a trip down hacked firmware lane. Let's get out of there though. Oh wait, hold on a sec. I have to shut it off. Turn this off. How do we do that? Swap module. Set it to none. Okay, let me do some double checking here. Yeah, I think DAW is still not working. What a bummer. Maybe I'll just do like a sample beat then. All right, let's find something cool to sample. Got the M8 here. Should be some dope stuff on here. So let's take a listen. Find out. Check my loops folder. Wow, definitely getting a copyright for that, but that sounds dope. All right, we're sampling that. Screw it. Let's get down on this. Whatever this may be, I'm into it. Okay, so we're gonna record. I think I'll pitch it up. Whoops, I totally screwed that up. Okay. Dude, B-Jammin says, can you sample from the Radio Garden for us? Yeah, I'll try it out. Let's go back there and see what's what. I've still got that other sample saved in case we don't find anything good on Radio Garden. Okay, synthesis. The thing about Radio Garden is I don't know. I feel like if I hear something I want to record, it's already going to be playing. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but we'll find out. Okay, Radio Garden. Let's do Asia. Got a lot of choices here. Where's Japan? Did I skip it? It's alphabetical. There's Japan. Okay. We can. What's going on in Kyoto right now? Let's check it out. The Inner Mongolia M. on tonight's episode of Radio Garden. So it claims to be playing it. I don't hear There's only one station though. Let's try like Tokyo or something. Guys, this is like my favorite song. Okay, what is this? Otava. I'm not even sure how I would record it once I hear it.
これまでは一人で楽しんでいた林田さんの番組もこれから夫と聞くことになりそうでございます。さてこれからどうなりますやら。
Religious radio or something?
こうやってね、新年度から、
Let's check out Silence. Radio silence. That's where that term comes from, by the way. Okay, listen to that. Dude, Pinoy Love Radio? Sounds kind of tight. It's a little up-tempo though. Alright, so let's say I wanted to record this. How would I do that? So resampling doesn't have anything. USB-C's blank. And line in's blank. Yeah, I don't know how to record it. Maybe I could do the skip back. Here, I'll try that. Alright, how do I stop this? Hell yeah, bro. Dude, Japanese radio sounds kind of tight. Oh, and then there's a random button. Wait, how do I make it not make noise? It's like, I don't see the... Set the volume to 0. Alright, so now it's just going to play in the background, but we're not hearing it. I guess that's better than nothing. Okay, so I used the skip back to capture that audio. So let's see what I captured. We got to go to the skip back folder. And to do the skip back, you have to hold shift and then you press the capture button. User samples. Shibang. Skip back. 4-1. Because today is the future. So this is what I recorded. Pitch it way the hell down. That's not a bad pitch. Okay. So we can slice it. Oh man, doesn't even remember that start point that I set. Dang it. Okay. I have to set the region end as well. All right, so let's crank it up. Maybe 8. Maybe 16. So yeah, you kind of get the idea there. I don't know if I want to work with this sample, but that's how sampling from the Radio Garden would work. You could use the skip back to capture what you hear. Because yeah, the problem with the Radio Garden is the audio is live, so there's not really a way to kind of scroll back. So you'd have to use skip back, and then yeah, I would save it into the skip back folder, and then from there you can use the slices and stuff. Would I ever do that? Probably not, to be completely honest with you. I feel like the interface is like not really that great for navigating and surfing kind of radio or other sources. Like there's another one, there's like a crate dig module where it'll search like YouTube, like music based on certain parameters that you input, like the genre and the decade that it's from and stuff like that. Dude, I feel like you're much better served just like using your phone to find stuff and then like recording it from your phone, to be honest with you. So that stuff I probably wouldn't do, but it's built in there in case you do like doing that kind of stuff. But not what I'm going to do for today. So that's that. But yeah, I had this other 6 sample that I wanted to work with. Yeah, this one sounds dope. It's already kind of got drums on it, but you can layer drums on top of it. It'll sound dope. Alright, so let's sauce it up here by adding some effects and stuff. Dude, but checking up on the chat here. Yeah, dude, the radio, it's kind of interesting. You do find some new sounds that you maybe never would have found before, but kind of wonky too. Oh yeah, it has an audio signal. That's what BJM is saying. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, but it definitely is there, I think, maybe. Oh yeah, dude, Garmagna said I should have just recorded it on the M8. Dude, that would have been very smart. That's the effectiveness of having multiple samplers, is you can kind of just do recordings like that, bounce samples back and forth. In fact, I could have done some effects on the M8 on it to make it sound even cooler. But yeah, Tiddy, dude, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm mispronouncing your name. said, how do you decide which box you want to play with on any given stream? It's kind of random. I usually just try to do something I haven't done in a while, although with the Ableton Move, I've been doing that quite a bit. But yeah, sometimes I'll just use like whatever I'm kind of vibing on that week or whatever. So it's pretty random basically, but mostly it's just stuff that I've been using off stream and then I want to bring that on stream. It's kind of the idea. But yeah, sometimes I try to get out of my shell a little bit, use the pocket operator every now and then to make sure I remember how to use it, and other kind of less frequently used boxes. But yeah, mostly it's just what I'm vibing on, basically. Oh yeah, Tidy TD? Dude, alright, that's what's up. Dude, and BJam is making another good point, which is Koala. So yeah, breaking out the phone and combining the power of the phone and the Move. Because yeah, I feel like the phone is a very powerful platform for getting samples into this thing. You could use Koala to like, you know, stem separate like you're saying, change the pitch, do a bunch of other stuff as well. Access samples, look up YouTube videos. So yeah, having it built into the Move, I think, I don't know, it's in there in this hacked firmware, but as far as how useful I think it is, I don't know, kind of depends on your use case and stuff. But for me, probably not going to be doing any of that stuff. But I do like some of the other features in the hacked firmware, so it's definitely worth checking out. I'm not speaking ill of it. Okay, so yeah, let me sauce up this sample a little bit. Get some like insert effects on it or something. Tight. And then yeah, I'll just resample it. So let's do, just gonna drop the tempo way down and then make it like, I don't know, 5 bars or something. That should be fine. Okay, then record, set it to resampling, and hold the pad down. Okay, so now I have the effects kind of printed into the recording. So what I can do is I can turn off the send effects and insert. Whoops. All right, so now let's get chopping. Alright, so I think that's fine. Click the back button. Slice is created. Gotta change the tempo back. Not even sure what tempo this is gonna be. Probably like 90 something. Let's try 92. And then change the loop length. Try 1 bar just to kind of figure out what the tempo is. Oh, I gotta turn max velocity on. Is not bad. Try slowing it down though. Do 89. I feel like I could bring it lower, but I kind of want some wiggle room. And what you don't want to hear are like gaps between like the chops. So yeah, this is like way too slow. So yeah, usually I just put some notes down and kind of play with the tempo until it sounds right, and then I'll record my own stuff in. Dang, I was in the zone there. Let's turn the metronome on. Alright, so let's try that. The metronome on anymore. pretty vibey. Yeah, B-Jammin' saying that the sample pads are a little bit limited. That's true, yeah, you only get these 16. There's another 16 here, but they only control the pitch of whatever slice you have selected. I don't know, maybe they'll add a way to use those as like chop pads or something in the future. I'm not sure. But yeah, this device, I feel like it's definitely geared more towards like melodic kind of, I don't know, you use the internal synth engines in here to like kind of write your own stuff, and less about like chopping samples and doing that sort of thing. Although they do have the ability to slice, so I think they've been like adding stuff like that. But yeah, it's come a long way, and maybe it'll come further, who knows. Dude, 4 moves? That would be dope. Alright. So yeah, let's try adding some drums here. So it's already kind of got drums in it, but I think I could probably do some snare on top. Maybe like a kick drum on top too. Alright, drums, snare. This one's not bad. Definitely need to decrease the envelope though. Let's find a kick drum next. Yeah, so this is kind of the tough part. I haven't really figured out a way to like make the kick sound too punchy. Maybe I could try a filter or something. I feel like you kind of lose the high end with that, which is fine. It's just kind of a sub kick, I guess. Yeah, it already kind of has that like hi-hat sort of high-end percussion in the sample. So I feel like I don't need to add that. There's like a triangle as well. So the percussion is like, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what else could I add? Some horns or something? Nope. I think that one kind of works. It's such a short sample though. Might be able to play different pitches of it too. Okay, this is the sample chops. Dude, this is that like cursed sample that I got from the Asia radio. Maybe there's something I can do with it. I'll keep it. I'll keep it on deck. Okay, let's do another drum kit here. And we'll record this horn sample in. And then I probably want to do gate mode so I can let off on it and kind of control the expression a little bit, even though it's a short sample. Let's do that. And then this is the cool part too, is, well, let me check the root note scale actually. Chromatic mode activated. So yeah, one of the cool things about these 16 pads on the right, we were talking earlier about how you can't put samples on them. Bummer. But you can play different pitches with them, so they're not totally useless. Get some delay on this horn. Get it sound crazy. We're getting there. I guess I kind of did play it in sort of a delay manner. Maybe it doesn't need delay. Could do like reverb. lo-fi grit, maybe? Could put a filter on it too. Alright, what else can we add on here? Got some recommendations in the chat here. Flute? Oboe, dude? Let me check my oboe folder. Alright, Gato Third, I have to show you, dude. Take a look here. I have an oboe folder, so I do have one. There's only one sample in it. I only have one oboe sample. Let's see if we can make it work. What does it even sound like? All right. I don't even know if it's in key. It's like 4 notes on it. Let's try it out. I'm going to record it in, and then we'll see what happens next. On tonight's episode of J Macula tries to use an oboe sample. Dude, apparently I did not do that right. Nice and lo-fi gritty. Okay, so I gotta find like one note from this that I can kind of play pitches of. So let's do that. And I'm definitely gonna have to use the release control. So yeah, first things first, turn off one-shot mode. Now it's in gate mode. Change the start point. Maybe just the first note? I don't know. Where'd the first note go? Come on, bro. Was it on choke mode? Hold the phone here. What do we got going on? Choke is off. Dude, here's the thing. Check it out. I'm going to copy and paste it. And like maybe play some other pitches too. I don't even know. We'll find out. bro, you know what would be sick? Dude, what if I reversed it? That would sound trippy. Try that. Shift, click, and then you got the reverse option here. Make it so. Kind of sounds the same as some of these instruments do when you reverse them. Like strings, for instance, usually sounds the same both ways. Low oboe. How low can you go, bro? I don't know. Alright, so yeah, the oboe turned out pretty sick actually, so good call, Gatterthrid. I'm into it, dude. Alright, so we got some oboe in there. What else we got? So yeah, the sample already has like guitar. Sounds like there's some kind of like Rhodes E-piano type thing too. And that's what I think about when I'm like adding layers, is like what's not in the sample that I could put in to kind of like make it sound interesting. check some other folders.
You're not gonna die. One of the things most of us have learned at some level is when we play with sin, then sin winds up
Like
playing
what?
with us.
Oh, bro, this is the
You're in charge of it one moment, and then it's in charge
dude. This
of
is like
you
the Radio
next
Garden app.
moment,
God.
months, years, decades.
Dude, how do I turn this off, bro?
And it is
Boom, get out of here. Yeah, that was still running the whole time because I literally don't know how to turn it off. Dude, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna post in the Discord for the Ableton hack. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, dude, I was having fun with Radio Garden, but like, how do you turn it off? And maybe they'll be able to help me out there. Cause yeah, I do not see an off button. And maybe I'm just like totally missing something very obvious. But I don't know. It's possible that I'm not. It's just not there. That would be so funny if they were like, oh yeah, we forgot to put an off button on it. Sorry about that. Anyways, okay. Alright, my wacky sample folder. We're gonna find something else to fit in here. I don't know what it is. Dude, maybe this? I do want to try something, which is using the loop mode on the Ableton Move. So this seems like a perfect candidate. It's a very short sample. Maybe I gotta bring the endpoint back a little bit. Alright, that's good. Okay, record it in, I say. Okay, so there's a loop function here. If you turn this knob, it says loop. Is there no way to stop it? Maybe I gotta set it to gate mode. Hold on a sec, guys. Sorry about that. It's like, what? Why would you ever just want to push the pad and then it never stops playing? It's ridiculous. Okay. So what I want to try is the loop mode here. I don't know exactly how it works. So there's a length parameter. I was kind of hoping it would like ping pong or something, or I don't know, maybe I could like find a way to make it sustain, even though it's like a really short sample. But I think it's just doing forward looping. It doesn't have like a kind of back and forth thing or whatever. Bummer. Well, maybe I can make it work just without looping it. Yeah, the loop, I was hoping to be able to just tap it and it kind of like sustains or whatever, but no biggie. Okay. Probably will add some decay though. Alright, not my best work, but kind of fits in a little bit. It'd be nice if I could put like an effect on it or something. Lo-fi enough. Oh yeah, we got the reverb actually. The original sample just sounds like hella dope by itself. I'm kind of just adding extras on here, but it's all good. But yeah, so Titty asks, do you use any kind of mixer for your groove boxes and synths? So that's a good question. I do have a mixer. It's over on the left, so you're not going to be able to see it. But it's a Mackie Pro FX mixer. And basically I just run everything through that, and then the headphones out of that is what I listen to. It's not really necessary though. I feel like I could have this stuff plugged into like SP404 Mark II or something and kind of do the mixing there. And another thing about mixers is that they rely on like multiple inputs, right? But usually I just use one sampler, sometimes two when I have like Dirty Wave M8 in the mix. And when I use two samplers, I always just plug one into the other. So I never really do anything with like parallel signals that requires a mixer really. So honestly, like the fact that I have a mixer is like not really necessary. It does help though, like for streaming for instance, because I can listen to this, but then I can have the mic also go into the mixer and I can hear that through my headphones, so I can kind of tell like what I sound like and stuff. So yeah, I have a Mackie Pro FX. It's a Pro FX 8 mixer. That's what it says on the front. But I don't think it's necessary. I think I could probably make do with something else, but I've just had it for a long time, so I just continue to use it. But yeah, that is the answer to that question. Alright, this one's pretty chill. I don't know if I'm gonna do much else to it. But yeah, let's listen to what we made on the other beat too. Refresh our memory here. Bro, I forgot about that Move On sample. This was the other beat. This one was pretty dope. And then I made one earlier today too, not on stream, so you can hear that one. Dang it, I messed that up. Yeah, this one turned out sick. And this I made using the quantized sampling workflow, like what I showed earlier. Yo, alright. Dude, that was dope. Let me check up on the chat here. Dude, Cat Earthrid, number 1. Dude, so Cat Earthrid saying, call Jay a bad gardener because he'd be killing beats? Bro, it's the nicest compliment I've heard today. Dude, the KO2 sample pack, that would be dope, man. Hook a brother up. And yeah, I do have the KO2. In fact, you know what? By popular demand, I'm going to do KO2 on the next session. I've been getting too hooked on the Ableton move. I got to switch it up. Make sure I remember how to KO2. How to do the KO2. So yeah, and if you're not familiar, I stream on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So you're here on the Tuesday session. Shout out to you. And then on Saturdays as well in the morning. Or I guess it's technically noonish. I usually start at like 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this session. Made a couple sick beats. Got to chill out with the homies. So, well, where's my mouse? So shout out to everyone in the chat. Dude, we had a lot of chatter today. A lot of people asking questions about Ableton Move. That's what's up. I'm having a lot of fun with it, in case you were wondering. So yeah, shout out to everyone. Gat Earthrid, dude, my bucket list. Samurai Chill Beats. B Jamison's Birth. Who else we got here? Dude, Chill and Connect 1. Slid Through, Sip It's Up. Gar Magni. TD. Chocolate Boy Swagger. Dude, shout out to you. Nice. Anyone else? I think that's everyone. Dude, heck yeah. Alright, cool. Well, yeah, appreciate y'all rocking out with me, and I hope to catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.